How do you count a shark's teeth? Not by hand.
Well, we're here for a quarantine video. I hope you guys all like the little pun there. It's I'm just going to be going over what I do as quarantine. It's kind of a, I guess it's not that exciting of a video of quarantine, I don't think, but I'm going to try to go through what I do. What I do maybe isn't exactly what everyone else does. I apologize if that's the case. I'm not trying to teach anyone exactly what to do or what not to do. I've had several people ask me if I quarantine and if I'm going to do a video on how I quarantine, what I do when I quarantine, and so I decided, you know what, I might as well throw one together with that last shipment I had from Harry's. So I started it out. I finally got the fish in the tank, so we've made it through quarantine. I did end up losing another one in the process. However, I don't think it was actually sick. I just, it wouldn't eat. The cardinals that came in, they were pretty young. I don't think I had the right food for it. I learned my lesson on that. And that if I order more, I'll have to get some, some brine shrimp or something here that they like better. Otherwise, I think that the other ones, everything else seems to be living and doing well. So I'm going to just go through what I did for a quarantine video, or for a quarantine on this setup, I guess. Like I said, it's not much. It's just a 10-gallon tank. I didn't actually do any treatments on them. I just watched them it's been about, I'd say it was five weeks I'd left them in there, and then I finally said, well, that's good enough. So I took them out. We're put them in the tank, the ones that were still alive and in good health. And so I'll show you what I did to get to that step. I did not actually purchase any medications, as there was no reason for me to purchase them unless there was something wrong. As you know, the medications do have a shelf life on them, and I have no desire to buy them, set them on the shelf, let them expire, and throw them away. I figured a local fish store here is close. If I do have problems, I'll just run down there and pick them up. Never ran into any reason to have them. Well, let's get into the video. We'll check out what I do as quarantine. Okay, so as you can see here, I just have an old 10-gallon tank. It isn't even, there's water spots on it, what have you. It's not even all cleaned up. And look, I'm just going to basically put this in here. The only reason I'm really doing this is just to give the fish while they're in here something to kind of hide under. Not really any other purpose than that. Just if they need something to hide inside of, underneath. Maybe we'll just put this one in here. Mostly all this is just kind of, if they get spooked or, while they're in there, they might be stressed out from the move, whatnot. This will give them something to hopefully hide behind. It's just a few miscellaneous trinkets, nothing special, just some old pipe fittings, some cement pieces, nothing that you have to go to the store and buy. I'm going to basically fill it up now with salt water. So we'll fill it all up. I'm going to have this actually probably set up here for a few days before I get the fish. Not really because I necessarily think I have to, just more for the fact that the fish aren't here yet, and I'm trying to get this video done as well as get this all set to go. So I'm just going to be pouring water in. This water I got here is actually right out of the main tank. I figured I was doing a water change. I'd just go ahead and use that water in here. Then I'll mix up some fresh for the remainder. Okay, and then here's the other bucket. This should be pretty much enough to top her off. Might have to add just a little bit to get the filter to work. But as you can see, I got the heater here. Here's the power filter. We'll just pop this in, show you quick what we're looking at. Okay, so they'll both be plugged in. I don't know, we'll see if that there's the heater. You can see the light popped on. Alright, so I primed it. We'll see if there's enough water in there for it to run. If not, I probably might have to fill the tank to the top, but we'll see. These filters sometimes are finicky. It's running, but it looks like it's not going to be able to do enough. I'm going to have to fill it up the rest of the way. Oh, there, it's coming over a little. Alright, so there you can see that's the filter I'm going to have on there, just moving the water, the heater to keep it. And I'm just basically going to leave it like that, and then I'm going to monitor the fish. I don't have a light on this tank, but what I do have is I have this fancy little thing here. Basically, it's kind of a really bright light, so I can... That way I can look right inside. You know, if there's a fish, I can see. It's easier to spot. You know, I'm looking for like spots, you know, rapid gill movement, any kind of problems a fish may have, or, you know, rather than have a light on top, I'm just going to use this. Otherwise, that's going to be the way it's going to be set up. I'm probably going to have to get a different heater. This tank that I have here was given to me by a friend. So basically everything that's here is just stuff that was laying around in the garage. I just pieced it all together, figured it'd be good enough for, you know, 4 to 6 week quarantine for the fish. Like I said, I will be showing you here in a little bit the different medicines that I may buy if I do have problems. Honestly, I don't plan on buying them unless I do have problems. I know some people like to treat for everything while they're quarantining. I just don't feel as though that's necessary. I think it may do more stress and harm to the fish than good. It's just my personal opinion. I mean, I know that other people have a lot of different opinions in regards to quarantine. But that's the method I'm going to be taking. I will actually get a different thermometer because whatever they have stuck to the side of the glass there doesn't seem like it's doing much. I want to thank Mike for this. He was talking about I have this algae scraper / magnifying glass on my other tank upstairs that I use for viewing corals and fish and stuff like that. Well, we were talking about it a little bit, and he didn't directly say this, but I got to thinking, you know, as far as checking fish for ick and that kind of thing here in a quarantine tank, I'm going to bring that down and stick it right on here. And that way I can take this right through that magnifying glass, and when the fish swim by, I can actually take a look and see, you know, just magnify it like it's big so I can see if there's anything bad in there whatsoever. While these fish are in here, you know, I'm going to monitor them. I'm not going to medicate them. I know some people believe that that's the way it should be done. That's not how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be watching them If they need medication, they're going to be getting it. If they don't need medication, they're not going to be getting it. I'm not going to medicate for the fun of it. Obviously, the fish are all going to be in one tank, so you know, if one of them does get sick, then they are going to all end up being medicated from it. But that's the process. So far, one of these Bengais I looked at up close. You can't see it in the bag. We'll see how it is when it's out. Looks like he got a little injured in the shipment. He must have been, I'd say, pinched in the bag a little bit. But this is a different tank now than what I had him floating in for the last few hours. And I did notice the temperature in here is actually about 2 degrees cooler. I know that's not huge, but I am going to let him float here for another 15-20 minutes, let him change that temperature. Then I'm going to take these, I'll show you, I'm going to put them actually in a bucket with some water, with the water in the bags actually. And then I'm going to take them and put them, slowly add a small amount of water from this tank over the next, I don't know, hour or two here. Try to make sure everything adjusts evenly. I don't want to shock them. I mean, they've been just flown clear from California to South Dakota, so, and it's an overnight deal. You know, they've been in a box in the dark for quite a period of time. So I don't know what the pet shops and stuff do for a procedure when this kind of stuff shows up, but that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to let these float here for a little while, and then when I come back, I'll be putting them in a bucket with some water, and I'll be adding some water slowly. I'll give you guys a shot of that so you can see what's happening. And once we get them into the tank here, of course, I'll give you a shot of that as well. We got to take a look and see what they look like, of course. All right, so I thought maybe instead of in a bucket, it'd be funner to do this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it in one, or that's why I got 2 bowls there. We'll see how much. I don't think there's much water in these. They shipped them pretty light. But I'm going to just take these and we'll cut the top right off. We'll put him in the first one. Blenny, I don't know about him. I'm a little worried about him because I'm thinking he's going to be wanting out. He's going to be wanting out. There's them 2 buddies. Let's go with the... Actually, that one was the one that I thought was kind of bad looking. He looks pretty good now he's out of the bag. I got to have enough room here to get some water from the tank in here so that I can slowly adjust them. I'm wondering if I shouldn't. I'm going to try to put him in there. I wonder if I got something quick to. Here, I got this. That Blenny is kind of jumpy, so I'm thinking I'm just going to throw this on top to keep him from jumping out. Wish me luck. Because he's a little crazy. He's more woke up than the rest of them, I can tell you that. The other ones are still a little laggy. I don't know if they put something in there to kind of put them to sleep or how that works, but let's hope that this doesn't make him go just completely out of the tank, because I don't want to be picking him up off the ground. See, there he is. He's all jumpy. So I'm going to put this on top in hopes to calm him down a little bit. I don't know if that's going to work. I'll find something better here that'll work for a second. But now that I got them in that tank, or in that little bowl, I do want to just take, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, just show you this. Basically, I just got this measuring cup, and I'm going to take some water right out of the tank with it. See that? I'm going to set it right here with it. That way I can kind of measure. You know, I'm just going to put a few ounces in here at a time. It's probably a little bit more than some people would put in, but We're going to let that set now for a little while. I know you can't. I'm going to get around here and see if I can show you. I don't want that blenny to jump out because he's a little skittish, but you can see a little better from the top. See, there's the fish and the blenny. They all look really good now that they're in here. They're swimming good. But I'm just going to continue this. I don't think I'm going to put you back on the camera for it. So over the next, I'd say over the next 45 minutes to an hour. So I just wanted to show you quick. Here's a couple of my cardinals. Just got them in here from Harry's Marine Life. They're looking pretty good for the morning after. Over here, I don't know if you can see him. That's the bicolored blending. Of course, he's hiding, playing peekaboo. I did actually order 3 of these fish, the cardinals. Unfortunately, one of them was still alive. I thought maybe he was going to pull through, so I didn't call and report it, which I should have. Unfortunately, I didn't, and you only have 2 hours to do so, so I guess I missed out on reimbursement for that one, but he didn't make it. He was struggling. But these guys will be in this quarantine tank here. I have the quarantine tank set up. It's a little bit cloudy right now. It's been set up for a little while here. I'm not sure why it clouded up right now, to actually be honest with you, ever since I put the fish in. So I'm going to be watching the water quality and stuff in here, see what's going on with that. Basically I just got a couple of rocks in there for him, something, for him to hide around. Because they're going to be in here for like 4 to 6 weeks before I put them in the big tank. Alright, so I know that wasn't the most exciting video. However, that is the method I take. I did almost forget. If I was to have problems, I do put copper carmine in there for ick. Then I would also have a copper test handy to make sure I don't overdo things. I would use General Cure if I had gill fluke, waist disease, that type of thing. I would also use Furon 2 API for sores, cloudy eyes, variety of things like that. Depending on what I'm seeing in the tank. Like I said, unless I'm having a problem with it, I don't treat it. I know a lot of people, when they're doing the quarantine, they quarantine the fish right away and they put all the medicine in right away and they take care of it. I just have never been a believer of doing that. I like to put it in there only if I need it or if I see the need for it. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, always hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, links are below. Like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate any input you have. If you have ideas in regards to quarantine that maybe I didn't do, or maybe that I could do better, or even just different methods that you use, whichever, I'd like to hear about them. Quarantine is one of them things where I don't necessarily think there's an exact science to every person that does it. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So if you have one and you want to share it, please feel free. I won't take offense to anything you say. Thanks. I'll see you next time.